previously on NerdTalk.
When they singing, they went through the mountain.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good to see like reactors who have heard that on like TikTok or whatever, and they're like, "Oh my god,
That's where that sound comes
that's where
from.
that sounds from." Yes, with the nomads,
Mhm.
the nomads who are on something probably, and yeah, they love to sing. But my favorite song from that episode isn't the Secret Tunnel song; it's the Badger Mole one, like Big Bad Badger Mole. Oh, oh, love the sounds.
That's a good one too.
Nerds.
Hi.
Welcome to Nerd Talk with Silver and Ray. We're here to chat about our favorite topics in TV, movies, gaming, books, and comics galore. I'm Silver.
And I'm Ray.
How you doing today, Ray?
Good.
Good, good. I'm glad you're well, sleepy, as you were saying,
Sleepy.
but you're alive and well, and that's what's important.
Yes. I'm perpetually sleepy.
Because you don't sleep enough.
Because I don't sleep.
Well, today we want to talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's our topic, and I love that show so much. Still, even to this day, I rewatch it and I see people react to it online, and it's just cool to have a cool lady crime fighter, evil fighter, whatever you want to call it. That's what she does, and it was cool when it came out, and it's still cool today. How were you introduced to Buffy?
So I guess I watched it just because it was on TV, but I didn't really get into it until you started watching it with me. And I think I just, like you say, you like watching people react. I liked watching you react to it. And that's what I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch it with her. Because after Angel left, I was like, nope, I'm not watching this no more. I'm upset.
Yeah, so you were watching it on your own, but then
Mhm.
you stopped because Angel left. That was
Mhm.
the end of season 3,
Yeah.
and then you just didn't watch it again until I started. I was watching it.
And then I watched all the rest of the seasons with you
Sure.
because I was so mad. I was like, how dare they? But then there's like seven of the seasons?
Yes, there's 7 seasons,
Yeah.
and an 8th season if you count the comic books. So, lots happened since the end of season 3.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people stopped watching it during that time or after season 3 because they thought it might continue on in high school, like they would perpetually be in high school.
Oh,
And Joss refused to do that. He was like, "No, we're gonna keep going on to
yeah.
college and
Age them.
right,
Hmm.
because you don't want to just hang around with high schoolers for the entire time, for sure. Anyway, especially if you're gonna have more adult themes, you want to grow up, you know. So I think that's what happened.
Yeah. And they did that in how not How I Met Your Mother. In Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah,
That they kept taking Feeny with him even when they
Mm.
went to college.
right.
I like watching them grow into college. You kind of grow with them.
Sure, your
I
elementary school teachers are still here after.
That's the dream, to have one great elementary school teacher and just keep them forever, all
Yeah.
the way through college. No, but no, I like watching that because we were kind of at that age when they were in college and we were watching it in college. So it was like it's more relatable,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, we were right in line with Buffy because they graduated from high school in 2001.
Mm.
And then we were 202. You were supposed to be 2001, I think, but then you moved to Florida and things got ruined. But
Yeah,
but
my New York credits didn't count.
yeah.
It's fine. I'm not hurt. Think about it. Had my New York credits counted, I never would have met you.
Sure.
So I think about that all the time. It's like it was meant to be. Like I remember Mr. Stoddard saying that too. He was like, don't worry, good things will come from it. He was right. One thing came from it, silver. That's it.
Oh,
Everything else I could have done without.
that's nice. Yeah, so they graduated in '01, so we were right in line with their ages. So we could crush on them and all. It's fine.
It's fine. Yes, we're allowed to. I mean, other than Willow, I don't really
Yeah.
feel like I know people love Sarah and she's like the big thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really crushed
Yeah,
on her.
I don't really have a thing for blondes, so unfortunately, no offense to any blonde people, but I'm not a blonde attracted to type, so But I do like redheads. So yes, Willow was at top of the list for me there.
I just
Uh,
like her personality. She's so funny, the way she talks.
yeah.
Like, that was what I liked about her.
Yeah, I like that she was smart, and
Hmm.
so I related in that way. And then, then she got magic, so I was like, yes, I would like to get magic
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, so that's what happened. Probably why I related to her the most, and liked her the most. But when I watch a lot of people react to it, they're adults, so they usually like Giles the most. They're like, oh yeah, Giles. And I'm like, at no point was I attracted to Giles.
No, and
No
I had
offense.
a really strong relationship with my library teacher in New York. Like it was like a father, like he was like a father to all the kids that didn't have fathers.
Yeah.
And Giles can be very dad like in a way too. He's like her like teacher, of course, but
Yeah.
he leads her in good directions and stuff. But even still I would not have been like, ooh, Giles. No. No, no, no.
Yeah, he was her watcher,
Mm-hmm.
and then he abandoned her at some point along
Oh.
the way because he's like, "I'm going back to England. You can take care of her yourself." I think after she had come back to life, so she died, so she's getting used to being alive again, and now you're like, "Oh, bye."
I'm leaving.
All right.
Thank you, Giles.
Not cool. But then that left way for Willow to go bad, I guess, and try to use all the magics because he tried to stop her from using magic as much from the get go. I guess because he didn't want it to corrupt her or whatever. Because magic is kind of a corrupting force in Buffy. It's kind of like a drug addiction, is how they displayed it in the show.
She went into the dark side.
Yeah, she turned full force. She's like, I want more power and I want to use magic for
Hmm.
every single little thing. And then when she met Tara, Tara was like, "Do you need magic for that?"
Yes. The answer's always yes.
Well, Tara's like, "You should have a little bit more respect for magic, because maybe you shouldn't use it for every little thing." Because it was kind of like a religion too, so they did a lot of praying to goddesses and stuff
Hmm.
to get the powers and stuff. So it wasn't just I guess a physics thing, maybe like Harry Potter, where you just have magic and there's no entity that's giving you magic. It's just part of your DNA and it's part of the world as like a type of physics. But I think in Buffy, it was more like,
Like actual Wiccan, where
yeah,
you
it's more
have
Wiccan.
more of like the earth and the goddesses and energies and embodiments.
Yeah,
I did always like that part.
yeah. And it was cool that you had to ask whatever or whoever entity to be like, grant me this power and
Yeah.
please help me do this. And that made it not such a OP thing to
Hmm.
be like, oh, I can just pull out magic whenever I want to. But
Yeah.
even though Willow did that,
I mean, because she also had the intelligence behind her, so
yeah,
she was like, I'm gonna figure this out. Which, in general, that's actually something I always really liked about Buffy and shows in that style where there's like a group dynamic.
hmm,
They have like that problem solving. Like they get together and they're like, okay, this is the big bad. This is your strength. This is your strength. And they use everybody's strengths
yeah,
and they get together as a team and they solve it. Of course, Buffy's always the hero, of course. But she couldn't have done it without like her little entourage, her buddies there.
yeah.
And they all brought
The
something.
Scoobies.
Yeah, they all brought something to the table, to the story. So I really like that. I like stories like that where there's a team and they get together. And I know David is in that one too, but Bones is like that where they get
Hmm.
together. I love stories like that.
Yeah.
And it's always usually resolved within one episode, which is
Hmm.
maybe a problem why like our generation doesn't like part twos in those short TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Like, don't you can solve this all in one.
Right.
Like I just and because it takes you out of the story when it's
Yeah.
in two parts. And on the contrary, when it was like a big show like Buffy, if there was two parts, you knew that was going to be a good
Something
episode.
epic. Yeah.
Yeah, because something great was going to happen in that second part. So that was okay, but in those little shorts and stuff, I don't like part two because I'm like, no, I grew up in a generation where we came together, we solved this in 30 minutes. You can solve this in 5 minutes. Like, I don't want no part two.
Yeah, Buffy was definitely like that. It
Hmm.
had a monster of the week, but there was
Hmm.
also like an overarching big bad, they
Hmm.
called it on there. So there was the big bad for the season, Like season 1 was the Master.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 was, I guess, Spike. Was season 2 Spike? I don't watch season before college anymore too much,
Aw.
as much as the rest of it, because I like when Tara gets there. So I'm like, the rest of the stuff wasn't, did we need that? But yeah, there's a big bad. I don't know what season 2's was. If it's not Spike, but I think it's Spike. And then like season 3 is the mayor comes along and they have to defeat him by the end. Season 4's
I can never remember the villains.
season 4, they were in college, so college was kind of the big bad, I guess. But there was there something to defeat at the end? Oh yeah, Adam. That's why nobody likes that season. Cause
Wasn't he the boyfriend or something?
no, Adam they created in the initiative like a Frankenstein creature.
Ooh.
And then he killed everybody who created him, and then he was on the loose, and he was pretty much indestructible because he was made out of robot parts and demon parts and human parts
It's like
and computer
history
parts. He
tells
put
you
like
not
a
to do this.
he put like a floppy disk in his chest, so people who react to it think it's funny now. But yeah, he was the big bad, and it was hard to beat him because he was indestructible. Like he didn't have to eat, so they had to pull out his power source to beat him, and but he couldn't get through his body because he was so strong. So they had to come together with magic to do that. Let's see what season 5. Season 5 was Glory. She was a god. So how would you beat a god? But they do. And then season 6, you know, Buffy ends up getting killed or something in season 5. So in season 6, they got to get her back. And then I guess Willow's the big bad of season 6. And then season 7 is the first evil. So pretty much the evil that creates all other evil. So like you went from a god to Willow to.
I know there's an episode where I think it's towards the end, spoiler, but
we've already spoiled everything.
Xander's girlfriend that was bad that turned good.
Mm-hmm. She was a demon, yes.
Anya, yeah.
Anya.
And they slice her in half. I think about that. In fact,
You still think about that?
Well, when I met her at that convention that I went to, I didn't go see her because her and like I said, Ember Benson's line were like around the building long.
Mm-hmm.
But they were together, her and Ember, and the whole time Ember was whatever Ember was doing, she was singing, she was engaging with the guests, she was phenomenal. Anya was there and she would be like, man, that's the party table over there. And every time I would look over at her, I was like, they sliced you in half. That's what I was thinking about. I was like, I saw you be sliced in half. But no, I think about that a lot. Like you don't see, and she wasn't like a main character, but towards the end there she was part of the group.
She came along in like season 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was there for the rest of the show. So
and I feel like towards the end there when she was with Xander, she was definitely part of the main group, and just to see her get sliced in half, like you don't typically see that. Sure, we were not going to have the show anymore, and they knew that, but like, dang, that was powerful. Like,
and it was particularly devastating for her because she had already lived 1,000 years, and one of the fears when she became mortal was dying, and so to die in that like crazy way when none of the other guys died, like they, I mean, and I guess she's lived 1,000 years, so you've had time, so it's not like, oh my gosh.
I know,
but it was really devastating because she was afraid of dying, but she sacrificed her life to save the world too. So she turned out to be a really good person.
Yeah, I like her character development in general. Spike had a big character development too. I mean, he went 360, but
yeah, well, he didn't do his by choice though.
Yeah,
Anya was by choice. Well, not really either because she lost her powers and she wanted them back, and eventually she does get them back, but she lost them and she tried to get them and she couldn't, so she had to turn and join the side that was good, I guess. And then Spike, he got the chip in his head from the initiative and he couldn't hurt people anymore, so the only things he could hurt were demons, so he had to join the side where he could do what he wanted to do, which is hurt things. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's good.
He wanted to hurt things.
And then he fell for Buffy, and eventually he he went to get his soul back.
Yeah.
That also wasn't what he went to go do.
I would be
He
honest,
wanted
I did
to
not like that storyline.
get rid of the chip. So that's what he went to
Mm-hmm.
do, but the guy gave him his soul back instead.
Yeah.
So it was not, at no point was like, oh, I want to be good now. No, you got a chip, and then you were like mad at Buffy because she didn't love you, and then you went to get your chip removed, but instead you got your soul.
Yeah.
So at no point was it like, okay, you decided to be good. Like, no, you were forced to be good.
Yeah. His story was weird. I didn't like the whole him and Buffy together thing. That
A lot of people love that ship.
really,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I was
I'm
too
not
much of an
against it.
Angel and Buffy purist. I
Right.
don't know.
And in the show, the whole time, they made sure you're like,
Hmm.
Buffy and Angel is the actual.
Yeah.
But since Angel had to go off and he can't have, pure happiness, they can't be together, so they gotta move on, I guess. But they never really moved on. But
Hmm.
yeah. So I don't know. His story, but Willow had an arc. Uh, I think the only one who really didn't have an arc is Buffy and Xander, and I would say Giles.
Yeah,
No,
because
they were
Giles
pretty
just left.
much them the whole time. Uh,
Seth Green turns into a werewolf.
yeah, yeah, uh, but then he's gone. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Xander is pretty much Xander. Like, yeah, he got braver, I guess, and he
Hmm.
and he was the heart of the group,
Yeah.
Uh, but he didn't really develop anything. Like he got stronger in in himself, as you would as an adult.
Hmm.
Eventually you grow up into yourself, but I don't think he had an arc as expansive as Willow's was. Like she was just a nerdy kid, and then eventually she turns into the big bad. Like yeah, she's only wanting to kill everybody because everybody's in pain.
And she went through like a major heart like loss like that.
Yeah,
That on top of everything she had already been going through was enough to just tip the scales for her.
sure.
So, I mean, that could not have been easy. Even in real life, that wouldn't be easy.
Right.
Mix it with magic that you may not always have full control of, even though she went fully deep into it. Because, I mean, magic is very easy to lose control of.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it was almost I know I can't say this word, inevitable, and
Inevitability.
to not have that happen to her. Like it was gonna happen. It
Yeah.
was
An
in
inevitability.
words I cannot say. Because I
Yeah.
try and words fail me.
Yeah, sure. And but yeah, she had a long journey to end up where she ended up. And yeah, she was still herself and she was still good by
Mhm.
the end, but it was like a
Mhm.
like a real upward trajectory,
Yeah.
more than most of the people in the show. And then, Buffy was the Slayer the whole time. Yeah, she got, and they said that in the show too, that
Mhm.
if she didn't have her friends, she would have died like as a lot sooner than any other Slayer. And yes, she did die two
Yeah, they just
times,
kept bringing her back.
but she didn't die as fast as she could have died because she had friends, because she had support. And they that was one of the themes of the show for sure.
Mhm.
But as for the relationships, I was a pure Buffy and Angel for sure. I didn't like Riley. I definitely didn't like the Spike thing. My favorite obviously was Willow and Tara. Didn't like Willow and Kennedy. But Willow has to move on, I guess. But to Kennedy, I did not like her at all. Xander and Anya. Xander didn't screw it up, and leave her at the altar. I'm sure that they would have been good, but he probably would have been more devastated because she dies.
Yeah.
And then Dawn never really has anybody, and I guess she's too young for them. But they all have relationships at her age, so I don't know. They just never went there with her,
Yeah.
because who else are they gonna add to the group? It's probably it was like
Yeah, because if she's with someone, then they have to add someone
yeah,
else.
it was more like a sisterly relationship between her and Buffy. Rest in peace, Michelle Trachtenberg.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't shows, especially towards the end, don't like to add new people. Like if shows know that they're going to finish,
Mm-hmm.
they like to keep it.
Keep the core
They don't
ensemble.
they don't want to bring in another member. I was watching an interview. I want to say that it was not like one specific 90s sitcom or show of that type.
Yeah.
It was just based on like all of them, like a clump thing, and they were interviewing some of like the directors and like some of like the, you know, off people, not any of the actors, like the behind the scenes people. And they mentioned that in that interview, that if they knew, like, let's say the show was on like like a later season 7 or above, and they know they're not going to get like renewed, they're like, we're not going to bring no one else in, because they don't want to contract an actor for a short period of time when contracts are usually for like seasons.
Sure. Yes.
But Adam Goldberg, not from Goldberg's Adam Goldberg, the other Adam Goldberg, which is a whole joke, he was contracted specifically for 3 episodes of Friends. But it was in his contract that it was only 3 episodes. So they did do one-offs like that. The same with another, she was a model. She was only in like 3 episodes. She dated Joey, and she was only contracted for like 3 episodes.
Okay.
So they do that at times, but I mean, Friends at that time was way like a major thing. And I don't know, in my eyes, I thought Buffy was a major thing. I loved it. I know all my friends did, but I guess maybe Friends was a little more popular, so they were able to get people to come in for like contracts for like 1 or 2 episodes, versus like shows like Buffy. Plus Buffy's episodes were way longer.
Yeah.
And they were like more full productions, like every episode had action and all of that, so it was a lot more than just sitting around a coffee house. And no offense to Friends, I do love Friends, but action wise,
just at the apartment or the coffee house, dialogue.
Action wise, it definitely was not. So if you wanted action, you saw one of those other shows. And I did like that too about Buffy. There was a lot of action and thrills. I was never afraid of any of it. I know some of my friends were like, I can't watch that, it's too scary. Are you kidding me? It's not scary.
No episode in that show was scary.
Yeah, I was never scared of it, but I do know a couple of people that said that growing up.
But yeah, it was supposed to be like horror, comedy, drama, you know, monster.
Yeah, and I love all of that stuff.
Action,
even still to this day, yeah, I love all of that.
Yeah, well, speaking of where people are contracted or whatever, that's why they never had like Tara in the opening credits, because people used to talk about that a lot. Like, why isn't Tara in the credits? Because she's been in as many seasons as Oz, and Oz was in the credits.
Yeah.
And it was because she wasn't contracted to be on the show like as a regular. Like every episode was like your guest star.
Yeah, your guest star every episode.
Even though she was in a lot of them, she wasn't a regular contracted in. So that's why she was only in the credits of the episode where she died.
And then and it says with, usually when they're like guest stars like that, it'll have all the main cast and their names just pop up, and then it'll say with Amber Benson for like a specialty episode or something.
Buffy had their credits, so they had the people come up and then their name and all that, and then once the credits was over and they got back to the show, it would have guest starring, and it would have like, you know, Christine Sutherland, which is Buffy's mom or whatever. You know, she was never in the credits or whatever because she wasn't in it that
regular
much. Yeah, so they had the regular, so even Riley was in the credits at one point because he was signed in to be a regular till he wasn't there anymore, obviously. But they never did that with Tara because I guess they didn't know how long. Maybe it was controversial at the time, you know, lesbian relationship, so they didn't know how long she would be on the show. So they never
kill the lesbians and break our hearts.
They never contracted her in, and so they only had her in the credits in the last episode she was in. But yeah, people talk about that a lot, and so yeah. But I didn't really watch the credits until people started reacting to it, and I was like, skip.
Yeah, I watch them now, or I watch openings at least more now.
Yeah.
But definitely growing up, I know I didn't watch it as much. That was like you run and scramble and get everything you need because you can't pause it back in the day.
Right. Go to the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom, you get your snack, you refill your drink. That was that run and scramble. And as the music starts ending, you got to run back because you don't want to miss those first few seconds of the episode. So yeah, that was what that was back in the day. Now that you can sit and chill and watch stuff and pause it. You know, I need to cook something. I need to refresh my drink. I'm going to pause it. We didn't have that luxury when we were kids.
Right.
Unless we were recording it from the TV. Sometimes I used to do that.
Yeah, I didn't do a ton of recording. I did some when I figured out how to do that on my VCR or whatever, but I didn't do a ton of it. And then eventually DVR came out or whatever, and then you could just record it and watch it whenever you want. I think that was the downfall of regular TV.
Yeah.
when DVR came out because you were like, I don't have to watch this when it comes on.
Yeah, I can
And
watch
so
it when
yeah,
I'm not running around and scrambling and not, I can
yeah.
watch it to my leisure.
And so then people weren't glued or stuck to their TV. So then
Mm-hmm.
maybe people didn't watch as much. So shows didn't
Yeah.
last as much because there wasn't much of an audience. But I'm like, yeah, there is. They're just not watching it right now.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a meme the other day where it's like, was Buffy 24 episodes a season?
22, I think.
22. But think about it, like every season was 22 episodes. Look at Stranger Things, it's like a major show now. We've gotten 20 episodes in like 5 years. If
Yeah.
it was, I'm sure my numbers are off, but like how many years, and we've gotten not even like what a full season used to be.
Yeah, they do
So,
like 8
hmm
episodes or 8 to 10, and they're kind of longer, but not enough to make up for 22 episodes.
hmm
And I guess that's just money wise, but they spend a lot more money on than they used to on TV shows as well. So yeah, the shows they stopped doing the 22 episodes and stuff,
I
and
miss
but
that.
then they take so long to produce and put it out too. Like you have less to do. I feel like.
Yeah, it's so much. Like if you watch, I know it's a Star Wars thing, but they have it's this show called Gallery.
Mhm.
And it kind of, well, for season one of The Mandalorian, they went into every episode, they went in depth, but they show how they make these episodes, and it I don't know anything about full TV production like that,
Yeah.
but it sounds and feels so convoluted. Like, wow, like how do you ever come up with the episode with all of these pieces, and I imagine like that takes such a long time. And of course Star Wars and Lucasfilms has like the best whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bridgerton is another one. And you don't really feel like Bridgerton. It doesn't have like action.
Or
Like,
like fake things like ships and whatever else.
yeah, like Star Wars has. And Bridgerton's another one that's taking forever to come out
Yeah.
every season. And
And I feel like they have to make stuff look so amazing, and they're worried about the
mm,
visuals so much. And I'm like, the visual is not the most important part. And I guess it is because people are, snobby now. But I'm like, the visual is not the most important part. The important part's the story, the character development.
yeah, I don't think it's all that important either. Like, if we go back to like shows that we watched as kids, like even just Buffy for the example, like sure that show had action and drama and everything in it, but the effects were very simple.
Yeah. I
And
mean, they had some amazing effects. Remember, like the gentleman and the
mhm,
demons and stuff were wild. A lot of them, but yeah.
compared to like today's stuff, it was very simple and it was still
Right.
extremely enjoyable.
It was a lot of like
hmm
hands-on stuff instead of now the
hmm
CGI, which you think you're using all the CGI, it should take you less time eventually. There's AI, there's computer programs now that should make
Yeah.
that go faster, but apparently not because they take forever.
I mean, you look at like the makeup work and how they used to make the vampires
Hmm.
on Buffy, and like you could really get the sense of that it was Hollywood makeup, and I love that stuff. Like I
Yeah,
love immersing into TV and being like, wow, look at what they did. Like that's so cool. But then you watch something modern today, like House of Dragon or something,
yeah,
and they have like the same kind of like vampires and monsters. Maybe they're not vampires, but the monsters all have like that. But it's so CGI'd.
yeah.
Like you can even tell that they only put the effort in like the main character,
Sure.
the one they're going to show the most, and all the side people have like stuff hiding their faces, or it's like
Hmm.
they take too many shortcuts in my
Sure.
opinion. And it's like I miss that about old shows like Buffy and stuff too,
Mm.
because I have to mention Pedro Pascal because it
Okay.
won't be an episode, but look at like his little moment on Buffy
Yeah.
has come back up, and he had the makeup done, and even he mentions it in an interview
Yeah.
how
What did he
he
say?
was put in full makeup for that, in full makeup, and then he's
And he
done,
was on there for 2 seconds.
and he was on there for 2 seconds, and they gave him the full due.
Yeah.
And whereas in stuff now, he's the main character and he doesn't get that attention.
Yeah.
So it's like, they really cared back then in those older shows. They did so good with stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you go back and rewatch, and the rewatchability of it is so great because of that too.
Right.
hmm
Yeah, people say that about Jurassic Park and all that. They're like,
hmm
even though it's from '93, you're like, wow, this still looks great.
The dinosaurs in the original ones look better than the
Yeah,
dinosaurs today.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they were real,
Yeah.
and it's on the film real.
Yeah.
That made me think of Walking Dead.
Hmm.
Like, even though they killed all the people I liked on that show, the makeup department was amazing on that show. You're like, yeah, that's a zombie
Yeah,
for
they were
sure.
here. They were here at MegaCon one year,
Oh
the
yeah.
big year,
Hmm.
the makeup people, and they were doing people up. It was like an arm and a leg, I'm sure. I didn't even look into it because I'm terrified of zombies. But then they had a zombie walk,
Hmm.
and all the guests were zombified. I was like, this is too good for me. I don't want, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, they had like an academy or like a university for the zombies
Hmm.
and
They
stuff. I
did
saw
really
that
good.
in the background of that show.
Hmm.
But we're winding down here in the main part. So, who is your favorite character and why of Buffy?
I have to say Willow. I just, and not just because I like the actress, but just like her.
Allison Hannigan.
Yeah, Allison's, I mean, she's amazing. Everything she's in, she's been hilarious. But I love her voice, how she did her voice for Willow, that kind of
Hmm.
like peppiness that she had to her in the first few seasons. She had her really long hair,
Yeah.
and I always love characters that have really long hair. Um, I used to have really long hair. It's not too bad now, but it was way longer back in the day. But I didn't relate to her the most because she was the smart one, and I don't ever relate to the smart ones. But I love the smart ones. Like I want to be them. Like I loved her. She was
Sure.
fun. Xander towards the end, I liked him more. I didn't like him as much in the beginning. Um, I thought I like we mentioned I liked his character development a lot. Um, so yeah, those two. Seth was interesting for a minute. I know that's not his name on the show, Seth Green,
Oz.
Oz, but it fizzled out quick. I
Right.
wanted to like him because I like Seth Green, but
You didn't.
it didn't work out. And of course Angel, but they took him away from us too fast.
Yes, he had his 3 seasons.
Yes.
I loved Angel too. I'm thinking about it. Probably Willow also. I liked Willow and Tara as a duo, I would say. I thought they worked well together when they were doing the right thing.
Hmm.
So them together, I think, would be my favorite. Uh, and then I would probably say Giles. I like Giles a lot. I wasn't attracted to him, but
Yeah, no, like
I
that
liked
teacher
his
aspect.
yeah, I
Hmm.
liked his character, and I like that he had like a mysterious past where he was kind of
Hmm.
bad,
Hmm.
as you are when you're younger. Your brain's not fully developed, so you do stupid things.
That's funny.
All right. So, do we have any news about Buffy? I don't think there's any news about Buffy.
I know there was a convention. I go to so many, I forget the names of them. I think it was Fanboy Expo Orlando last
Okay.
year, and a bunch of the cast of it was both Bones and Buffy were there. So David, of course, was put in the middle. Then they had all the Buffy people in one direction and the Bones people in the other,
Nice.
with David in the middle. And I went up to a bunch of them to get videos for you. And they were all phenomenal people, like engaging, hilarious. Um, Cordelia, did I say
Mm.
her name right?
Charisma Carpenter.
Charisma. Oh my God, I got her when she didn't have a line because they most of the time their lines were just going around the building the whole
Yeah.
time. And it was the night was winding down, and I stopped to talk to her, and I was apprehensive because the bigger the character in the show, the less they wanted people to just go up to them if you weren't going to do the official
Right. If
photo
you
and
weren't gonna
autograph.
buy anything or
Yeah,
something.
so I kind of just hesitantly went up to her. I told her my little story, and she was so sweet. David, like I've told this story to many people. His line was absolutely shut down. You cannot go in there if you weren't paying $100 for an autograph or $100 for a photo. It was no go. I just walked into the VIP line. I didn't ask any questions. I,
Just do
I
what you
was
want to
like,
do.
well, you know what it is? Do it now, ask for forgiveness later
Right.
or whatever. I was like, I'm just gonna do this. He's important to Silver from both Bones and Buffy. I gotta do this. And I told him my little story, and I can see the picture over there. He
Yes.
signed it, and he was so nice. And he was very quiet. Like he wasn't. Yeah, so he gave that to me for free. I should specify because Silver is a breast cancer survivor, and I told everybody that she couldn't be there because she was still in the survival mode, and they all were so nice, and they all made videos for her, and I was shocked when David gave me that. It was, I think, when he had damaged out or something, and he just happened to have it by him because you had to purchase it before you went up to him.
Sure.
So he didn't have anything up there to sign, purposely because you had to pay. So he had that one and he signed it for her, and they were all so sweet. The Bones people too. Uh, so that's my news for Buffy people. Meet them at conventions because they're all great. They will bring you
nice.
go into Amber Benson prepared to cry because
Oh,
that girl made me cry. She made the
I
people in line before me cry. She made the people in line behind me cry.
I love Amber Benson so much.
She was so good. She was singing. She was so animated. Her line was the absolute longest. David's line was the shortest, but that's because it was so expensive to meet him. But Amber's line was around the door, and I don't think she was charging people. I don't know how she was making money because she was just like,
She probably just likes to meet
one
us.
more photo, one more autograph. Who cares? She was
just
so
loves
she
to
was
meet
so
the
great.
fans.
She did. She really
And all the
was.
fans are super nice too.
Mhm.
The Buffy and,
Oh
and
yeah.
Tara and Willow fans are so nice.
Yeah, because I mean, it's all that time. We grew up as nerds and as people, like when we were growing up in the 90s, you were more outcast.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like, oh, that's cool. But back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, there
So,
was
mhm.
hardly anything on there.
Yeah.
Like they're the first lesbian couple that kissed on screen. You know, there are a lot of firsts that they did, and so people didn't have anything to relate to back then.
Yeah.
So that was it, and so people gravitated and grasped onto them, and such. They were nice characters, and you know they were good looking, obviously. So
Yeah.
you know that helps, and then you know they got rid of Tara, and everybody was upset about it.
So upset.
And so
I barely was over losing Angel. Now you're taking Terror away from
there
us?
was
So
websites
wrong.
and you know the fanfic website, like you're not in the, even in your stories you're not allowed to kill Tara.
No,
Like
she has to
if she
live.
dies, she has to be brought back or something in the
That's funny.
story because that's the rule on there. She cannot die, and so you know that's how devastated people were, and that was really cool about it. So
Yeah, I love that about them.
what do you think a season 9 would have been about? And well, in season 8 they went to Cleveland because that was the other Hellmouth because they closed the one
That's the
in
comic
Sunnydale.
book one, right?
Yeah, so that's what happened in season 8 comic book. They went to Cleveland. They found the other Slayers that had been awakened because they awakened all the Slayers, and they were training the other Slayers. So
Nice.
I think there was a lot of good force for good by then. It tipped the balances because there's supposed to be a balanced scale of good and evil, but I'm like I think good's winning now because
Yes.
you have like thousands of Slayers around the world. Like demons don't stand a chance.
I think I know it's a silly romantic thing, maybe, but I would have loved to have seen them resolve the Angel and Buffy situation
Yeah.
and have it be in a way where they could have been together. Because, come on, he that whole storyline of why they couldn't be together was maybe it's just I think as a writer, because in my heart I wish I was a writer,
Yeah.
but I mean I could think of like 5 scenarios, and I'm sure you can go to like 105 fan fictions that bring him back and they resolve it. You're gonna tell me professional writers couldn't? That's all I'm saying. Bring him back, give us another fine season of, vampire slaying and Buffy being great. I could watch that all day. But that would have been the only thing I would have wanted to see resolved was Buffy and Angel being together as the end game. But that's about it,
he had
really.
a few more seasons after they were done, and I didn't watch them, so I don't know. Sorry. But I think him and Cordelia have a thing at some point, and there's other relationships or something. He has a kid
I don't know.
somehow, even though he's a vampire. So I don't know what happens over there, but
I only watched the first season of Angel.
yeah, I only watched the first season as well.
Once Mark was gone, I know that's not his name, that's his name on Roseanne, but the actor who plays Mark on Roseanne was gone. I was like, yeah, I can't keep losing people. I'm a Doctor Who fan. I already have loss in my heart. I can't keep
There's a
losing
lot
people.
on that show for sure.
Yeah. So no, I only watched the first episode, the first season. And how many seasons was Angel?
I think 5.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And it went along with Buffy, so the 4th season was the first season, so I think they had one more year after Buffy was over. So
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
all right, well, we're on to our last segment. What are you nerding out about?
Well, I know I've mentioned it a lot, but I am working on. I have a prop. I haven't seen it, so let me grab it.
You can do an unboxing on the
Yeah,
pod.
kind of the concept of an unboxing. So I know this is a huge box, but I bought a 3D printed Labubu face,
I love Bubba.
and it's for a costume. I'm remaking my Labubu costume because, like I said, I made one really fast, and it was so much fun to wear. And I was like, I'm a little more at a professional level than this.
Sure.
I can make it a little bit better. And I have a friend who does a lot of my 3D printing, and he's phenomenal. Oh my God, look at this thing, Silver. I have not seen this. There's eyes and everything. Look at this little
Yep.
boo boo.
Yep.
It's phenomenal. This is like my legit first viewing of this, and in the box of the eyes like inserts and the teeth, and the teeth was like my biggest thing because when I made it, I mean, I feel like the teeth are kind of rounded on here too. The teeth are supposed to be really sharp, supposedly. But they came out my teeth came out really bad, the ones I made. And they fell off, and it was so lafufu. So I was like, I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna make it better. This is hilarious. I love it. So yes, this is what I'm working on. I'm gonna, we have a few conventions. I mean, we always have a bunch of conventions coming up.
Always going to conventions for sure.
I have there's MetroCon that's next weekend. I won't have it ready by then. And there's look at the teeth. I have one in September, Ocala Comic Con. That's the one. This one will probably be worn to first. And Tampa Bay Comic Con. Can't believe Pedro Pascal was there in 2016 and I didn't go see him.
I'm sorry. Were you a Pedro fan in 2016?
He was there for Game of Thrones, and I didn't really start to fall in love with him until Narcos, which came after. So it's just crazy to think that he was there, and I was like, I don't want to go this year. I could have really seen him, you know, and I could have said, yeah, I saw him once.
I've seen Pedro once.
No, never. So yeah, just working on my Labubu costume, and eventually finishing Zeb. Zeb is actually pretty much done. I gotta work on the feet, which, because he doesn't wear shoes. He's I want to say he's like a cross between a gorilla and a wolf. I don't know, it's Star Wars. So he doesn't wear shoes. So I joined a group called Wookiee Builders. I know that's for like Chewbacca, but it's the same kind of thing. You're building like a suit, and someone built these Wookiee shoes, and I thought the way that they did it was so great.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect technique. I'm gonna do the same technique for Zeb. But once I find fur, because rest in peace, Joanne, that we lost. It's okay, I'll find it. Hobby Lobby has it, but
I was like, they don't have any in the other two.
I don't want to shop at Hobby Lobby.
Yes, we know why.
I don't want to.
All right. What am I nerding out about? I am talking to ChatGPT some more. Just to try to get ideas about things I want to get better in. So he's giving me a plan, or she, I don't know. Is it he? Is it she? ChatGPT. Sounds like a male name to me. I don't know.
That's funny.
But he gave me a little. You can't see it, but it's a 40-pound fat loss tracker for the next 4 months. So I'll probably record me trying to do that. So it's a 4-month plan to help me lose 40 pounds, because I've been trying since August of last year, so almost a year now, and I'm still weigh the same. So that is something me and him and her or whatever talk about. And then I was thinking about restarting my book that I was writing called The Fateless, and so I was putting up all the stuff I have, the lore I have about it, and he or she was like, this is really great, and you could get a lot of books out of this. And I was like, I know, right? So, just having late night conversations with ChatGPT about things I want to get back into. So that's what I'm nerding out about.
That's good. I like that. I like that it gave you like a full chart. That's really cute.
Yeah. And this is on the free version, so if I had the one I paid for, I would probably get more in-depth stuff. But yeah, that's it. That's our episode on Buffy. Thanks so much for hanging out and joining us. And let us know what you're nerding out about in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.